If you're a dentist and you want more high quality patients coming every single month, but Facebook ads feel confusing or risky, then you're gonna love this. Because not only am I breaking down the strategy, I'm actually gonna show you how to launch the entire thing step by step right inside your Facebook Ads Manager. We'll build the whole thing together, so by the end of this video, you'll be able to hit publish. And trust me, you do not wanna miss the walkthrough at the end. It's the part most people and most agencies actually charge for. And with that said, let's get right into it. So now we're in the Ads Manager. So if you want a video where we have the pre-work to get your Ads Manager all set up, I actually have another video and I'll link that below. But what we're gonna do here is we're gonna create a campaign and we're gonna do a leads campaign. We wanna generate leads. And you can see here, this is good for collecting leads for your business, website, instant forms, etc. Hit continue. We're gonna do a manual leads campaign. Gonna remove this template here. And you know, there's different naming conventions. We have our own naming convention. So I'm just gonna do leads, ABO, dental campaign. And then what you would want to do is here you could do something like Invisalign or all on X, whatever campaign this is going to be for, you want to make sure you add it there. So leads, ABO, Invisalign, right? So this is the campaign level. And then what we're going to do is we're going to make this an ad set budget so we have more control. If you do campaign budget, your budget is going to get distributed automatically across your different ad sets. And just so you have a quick little visual, right? So we have the campaign level, and then we have ad sets, and you can have multiple ad sets within a campaign, and then you can have multiple ads within an ad set. So if you were to choose CBO, the campaign budget optimization, your budget will get distributed. So let's just say you have a $100 a day budget here, it will get distributed automatically. But we want to have more control, so we're doing ad set budget, which means we put the budget at the ad set level. We're going to do that. And Meta is going to recommend a bunch of stuff to you. Sometimes Meta isn't in your best interest. So I would say just precaution there. So we're going to hit next. We have no special ad categories. And then this part's really important. So let's just say we're going to do a broad ad set here. And where this is the location we're going to send the traffic. I recommend starting off with an instant form and then A/B testing websites later. So instant form is going to be the easiest way for you to get up and running. Let's just say you wanted to send traffic to your website. Most likely your website probably isn't optimized, or you don't have an optimized landing page where we can actually send traffic to. So just start off with instant form, and then you only want to maximize for conversion leads if you actually have your CRM connected with Facebook. That's a little bit more on the technical side, but once you set this up, you can optimize for conversion leads where your cost per quality lead is going to increase. But to start off, I would just go for maximize number of leads. You can skip this unless you actually know what your cost per lead estimate is already. Leave this off. You can update your budget here. Here's the start date. This you can skip. And then this is the interesting part here. So this is where we can start doing some targeting. Depending on who you want to market to, we can change the age here, right? We can increase our minimum age. It's going to go to max 25. That's going to be the range that you have for the minimum age. This location, more than likely, right? You're going to want to target your specific area. You can type in your county or your city, or you can also drop a pin. So if I do this, I can drop a pin, and then now I can actually change this radius here. So maybe I want a 7-mile radius. So then there you go. So we have that where we can target our specific location. And then here we can actually exclude audiences. We don't have to get into that right now. And then the other thing is languages. Here you can put English, or maybe you want to target Spanish or English and Spanish, right? Depending on your area. And then here we have your audience suggestions. So what I recommend when it comes to targeting, so we do here, targeting, I recommend broad, interest-based, and lookalikes. So here we go back to this. We can do a broad targeting where we're just going to leave it open. We're not going to give any suggestions at all. Or we can do interest-based audience. So what that means is if we go here, we're just going to put personal development. Maybe it's people interested in personal development or their self-confidence. Maybe it's people interested, interested in self-esteem lately. Or maybe we want to target top zip codes, right? Household income, top 10% of zip codes. Maybe top 5%, higher income earners. Maybe this is what we want to target. So we can get very, very specific and we could start A/B testing. And then the lookalike audience, it's a really special type of audience. So if we go here to custom audiences, if I do lookalike audience, you can create a audience based off several things. So one of them is your customer list. So I can upload a list of your past customers. We could even get very specific. Maybe it's a list of your past customers specifically for Invisalign or specifically for All on X cases, right? So we can upload that, and then what we'll do is we'll go to lookalike audience and we'll say, hey, find me people similar to that audience. 1% being the most similar. If we go to 4%, it's more broad. But what we can do is we can get pretty creative on different audiences with our lookalikes. And this is also a really, really, really good strategy. So that's when it comes to audiences. The next thing is placement. So we go here, you're going to see here Advantage Plus. Whenever you see Advantage Plus, that's basically Meta's AI. And here where we have detailed targeting, this is basically saying, hey, find me people similar to this audience, right? But you can also switch to original. It's kind of a little pro tip. So it's going to use Advantage Plus audience by default. You can play around with this. We've seen a lot of success using our original audience, so not leveraging Meta's AI, even though Meta is going to say 9.7 lower cost per lead, right? But it's always good to A/B test. So we'll do that, and then you can add your interest here. And then I would turn off Advantage Plus detailed targeting. That's my recommendation, but again, always, always, always test. Meta's going to tell you one thing. Even here where it says Advantage Plus placements, we've seen a lot of our ad spend getting spent and not bringing in actual conversions. So what I like to do is come in here, turn these off here, turn notifications off, explore, turn all of these off here that I know without usually never convert. So that's what I'll do there. And then now we get to the exciting part, so the ad. So we want to try different things like videos, statics, motion graphics, right? We want to try all of these different types of ads. If you have a Instagram, company account, you can even partner it with your personal one. That can be something interesting to test. Turn off multi-advertiser ads here. And then this is where it gets fun. So if we come over here, this is where we start thinking of, what type of creative do we want to launch? So this is a tool called Foreplay. And here I have a bunch of different ads for different types of offers. So this is all Invisalign ads here, right? These are some motion graphics, some videos, and then there's also all on 4 campaigns that you can launch. This is probably one of the most important parts when it comes to launching ads, is the creative is everything. And if you don't have a team or you don't have good creatives or great creatives actually, then your campaigns aren't going to perform the best. So this part's super crucial. I like Foreplay to save different competitor ads and really figure out what we want to do. And then we internally at our agency, we have video editors, graphic designers, motion graphic designers that create really high engaging ads. And we're also applying marketing principles to the ads we make, which is one of the most important parts. So it's not just about making it look pretty, it's about making sure that they're using marketing principles to convert. Here, this is where you'll create your form. I'm just gonna call this new form. More volume or higher intent? I would recommend higher intent. It gives them a review step at the end. I'll just turn off flexible form delivery, add a greeting. So let's just say this is an Invisalign offer, $500 off. Invisalign, first 10 people only, whatever it is. This is going to be where you kind of write your offer, fill your information below, and someone from my team will reach out to you. All right, so they add the greeting here, and then this is where we can start adding qualifying questions. Remove this optional part here. This is another super important part, super crucial. If someone fills it out, they're just gonna give you their email, their full name, and their phone number, which is good. That's technically a lead. But what we want to do here is we want to ask certain questions that are going to help us pre-qualify and figure out if this is actually a lead that's going to convert and that actually you want to take on. So here it says add questions. You can add a conditional logic, which is super powerful, but we can add multiple choice, short answers, conditionals, appointment requests. So how soon do you want to get this treatment, right? Maybe it's as soon as possible, then a month or 2 to 6 months, right? This is where we start adding the pre-qualifying questions, right? Do you have insurance? Whatever that is, we can get really specific on the type of lead we want based on this part. This part is huge, and you can see here we can even make this conditional. So we could add conditional logic, which is really important. Privacy policy, a review screen, and then your ending. So where do you want to send them? Congratulations, you're all set, right? They can send them to your website. You can give them your phone number here so they can call you. And then I would also check this part off, start conversation on Messenger. So that's the lead form. I would check this out too. Chat with leads from Instant Form. I'm just going to create a conversation. Here's where you upload your creative. Make sure that your pixel and all of that is set up, which is super important. And also making sure you have the proper UTMs here, which is super important. With that said, the last kind of important pieces here are, just as a reminder, one thing that's really important is who are you targeting? Or you want to do an Invisalign campaign, all on 4 campaigns, maybe just local families. What's your message? What's your specific offer? Is it free Invisalign scan plus $500 off, complimentary consultation? What is that unique selling point and proposition? What is your offer in those ads? That's another super important things. And another important thing is making sure you have the right campaign set up, making sure your pixel and your conversion API are properly set up. Where are you sending that traffic? Also making sure that you set up retargeting campaigns, so you retarget people that visit your website or are engaging with your Instagram and Facebook, or people who are actually watching all of your ads, till the end. Retarget those people, focusing on high quality ad creatives. And then on top of that, the other part that's important is just that your in general digital presence is established. Right? Because when people see your ad, they're going to click on your profile, they're going to look you up on Google, they're going to go to your website. So you want to make sure all of that is established and looks professional, which is really important. That's how you launch Facebook ad campaigns for dentists. And with these ads, it's going to help build your authority, your trust, and get people in the door who are ready to become new patients. So now, if all that sounds great, but you'd rather have someone just build it for you, that's literally what we do all day at Great Marketing AI. We create, launch, and optimize Facebook ad campaigns for dental practices. Fully automated, fully done for you. So you can focus on what you do best. If you want us to build your next campaign, click the link below and book a free strategy call. And let's get some new patients in those chairs.